everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a twist. I'm going to be doing the really cute Christmas Friends bundle. This was my class in the mail for November, and so I had it out on my desk, so I thought it would be perfect to do that. And then I'll also show you the cards for that class. And so if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome, welcome. So during the live premiere, I'm in the chat room, so make sure you head on over there. That's where I'll be, and then you can ask questions or whatever. You also, if you're watching the replay, just leave a comment down below, and then I can reach out to you. Now tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, I probably won't be in the live. I have an appointment, so I don't think I'll be home in time. So I'll just, I don't know if I can catch it. I just don't want to make any promises because I really don't think I'll be able to. So I will reach out. If you have any comments, leave them down below the video tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesday. So I wanted to say that now because I know I'll forget at the end of the video. All right, so I'm going to get started. So close your eyes just for a second while I get my camera adjusted. This is the cute Christmas Friends bundle, and I had so much fun with this class. And so, like I said, I had it sitting out on my desk, and I thought I would definitely share it with you. So I'm going to do this card right here. Now it's a note card, so that's the smaller card. And so I have my recipe here. So this is how I knew it was a note card, because it says there. But also, what I do is I just kind of like, if I'm trying to do my Mimeograph Monday, I will either stamp the focal image or a greeting, and then I'll trim, and then it kind of gives me an idea about sizes if it doesn't tell me what size. So that's what I did. And then I realized, because sometimes I know they'll say note card and then it ends up being like a bigger card, but this is indeed a note card. All right, so let's get that off to the side here. All right, so the note cards are already cut, like scored, and there's envelopes that go with them. So I'm just folding that on there, just kind of giving it a little support. All right, so we have our note card, and then the designer series paper is the season, what does it say? Season of Elegance. And it looks like this, so it's kind of got that texture to it, but the back side has got this amazing foil look to it. But I'm using the back side because this is what they used. All right, so I'm just going to glue this right on here with green tip glue. So you won't see the note card on the front because this paper takes up the whole front of the card. So I'm just lining my edges up. So the green tip glue makes it so easy because then you're able to wiggle it a little bit. If you're not quite where you need it to be, you have a little wiggle room before it sets up. Whereas if you use a seal, it would be stuck, you know, as soon as those papers touched each other. All right, and then I have this piece here. So let me give you this measurement if you want to make this card. Let me get my fancy ruler here. So this is 3 by 4. So it's kind of an odd size. It's not like a true frame, because usually if I'm doing like the cards, I would have my frame be the same distance all the way around, but they didn't, so I'm doing what they did. All right, so I want to stamp my greeting, so I do want to get my grid sheet so I can see how straight I have my greeting mounted. All right, let's see here. I'm also going to use some twine out of my fun little my little gnome head, or my little dwarf. I don't even know what he is. He's like a little, I have him up there with my gnome, so we're just kind of calling him a gnome. I showed him like last week. He's actually an egg separator. You're supposed to put like your egg in there, and then when you pour it out his nose, it'll separate the egg whites from the yolk. But I'm just using him for linen thread. So I have him up with my gnome, so we'll just call him a gnome. All right, so let's see here. I can't remember if I gave him a name. Did I give him a name? I don't even remember. All right, so let's see here. So we have, I think I might have said Gerald. All right, so let's see how straight I have that. So not bad. So I need to just come down a little bit on the right. Okay, so I'm going to stamp, and then I'm just going to come down just a little bit on the right hand side to make it straight. All right, so we'll let that sit aside and dry. Now that was real red. Now ahead of time I stamped my owl on some basic white with the memento, and I used the die to cut him out. I'm like trying to get him over here. Come here, little guy. There we go. So I stamped him on basic white and cut him out with a die. I love when a stamp set has a die that matches it. All right, so we have our little owl. So the colors that they have us using. Now I did add the light gray granite, which wasn't originally listed, but I did add that. So we have light gray granite, bronze, and ivory, real red dark, real red light, and light and dark crumb cake are the colors that we're going to be using in the blends. All right, so let's take our bronze. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the bronze, and on the outside, I'm just going to put a little bit. His little feet are so hairy and cute. Years ago, we had an owl in the tree in the backyard, and it stayed for, I don't know how long, maybe a week or so. But he was so cool, and I have a video, I think, probably on my YouTube channel, but it would be from ages ago. All right, so that is the bronze. And then I'm going to take the crumb cake, and we're going to put a little bit more. So around his face, I'll put a little crumb cake. And a little bit on his feet. Okay. And then I'll put a little of the light crumb. Not a whole lot, because I'm going to finish him with the ivory. I don't want him to be too dark. And then I'm just going to finish his face and his body with the ivory and his little feet. So they have him colored pretty pretty natural, you know, colored. Okay. So I just did what they did. So let me show you. See how cute he is. Just really, really natural looking. Now, one thing that wasn't listed was a light gray granite, but I don't want to ignore the fur on the hat. So I'm just going to put a little gray granite, just so that that looks like there's, you know, white fur on there. And then we're just going to use real red for the hat. So this is just dark real red. And then we'll just finish it with the light. So he's pretty easy to color. I really had fun with this class. In fact, the card, my twist, because I'm going to do 2 projects today. So this is the catalog version, and then I'll do a twist. So my twist is very similar to the one I did for class. All right, so let's bring this over here. Now, they have twisted some twine around it, so I'm just going to pull the twine out of my little gnome's nose. Oh, I know, that's gross, but it's so funny at the same time. All right, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, and there's 3 loop-de-loos. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-lie. All right, so we're going to tie in a bow. Like that. And then I'm just going to trim my tails a little bit. That bow might be a little bit too big. Let me make it a little bit smaller there. Okay. Now I'm going to put this on the card with dimensionals. Now the dimensionals I'm using are actually from one of those kits that I did the other day with the sceneries. Don't waste any of your dimensionals from your kits. Make sure you use them all up. All right. I just have to trim them to the size I need. Okay. And then this is going to go on here. And then the little owl, I'm going to use dimensionals as well. And they're going to be, he's going to be dimensional as well. All right. But I want to put the dimensionals here so that I can avoid getting it on the ribbon. Because I don't want to get dimensionals on my twine. There we go. So we have our cute little owl on. Now they used the white snowflakes, the white loose snowflakes, and I have just poured them in a little jar. I love reusing, repurposing little jars and stuff. And I found this jar when we were in Illinois in September. There's a little antique store in town that I always have to go to when we're there visiting because it's just cute and it's just, you know, locally owned. So I like to help out a little bit and spend a few dollars here and there. And I couldn't resist this little jar. All right, so where's my pick tool? So I just put a little green tip glue. And because the snowflakes don't have any glue on them, and I'm just using my pick tool, and then I'm just dropping those snowflakes right on top of the glue. And it'll just take a little bit for them to dry. And then we'll just put those back in there. All right. But look how cute that is with the little snowflakes. And I hadn't even played with those snowflakes yet. So that was super fun to use those. All right. So now let's go to my twist card. So I have my pieces over here. All right, so the things I used on the twist were, I still used my Christmas Friends and the die. Now I'm going to use an Unbounded Love. I wanted one of these circles, so I used that. I also used the Painted Trees 3D folder. All right. I'm also using some of the Reindeer Days Designer Series paper. And I made this be a full-size card. All right, so let me get my pieces here. So this is a full-size card. So I've already got it scored. Okay. This is going to go on the inside. So I didn't do anything on the inside of the note card because that was the catalog ones. But this one I am going to, you know, kind of decorate the inside of the card, make it like cute and fun. Oh, and look at my seal is empty. Hold on a second. I know it has a rip top or whatever, but I find it easier to open the bottom because then I can hold it like this. And I guess I should have opened this first. Because then my hands don't get all sticky. If I open it with the zip top, I'm touching that end. So this way I'm touching the back end. All right. And then we're just going to stick that on there like so. And then I just kind of get, sometimes it gets a little glue there. So I just kind of pull that off. There we go. They're like extra strong boogers, really, if you think about it. Which is kind of gross, but no filter. All right, so let's get back to the card. So we have our seal. I'm just going to stick these down here. That because I'm going to put some presents on here, and I'm also going to use the bear instead. I love all of these little critters. They're so fun. You know me and critters. You know I love critters. You know I like to make a scene. You know I like to color. And this set is so adorable. And I want to thank you to all of you that have signed up so far for my Darling Dinos class in the mail kit. I'm already half full, and I just announced it. So you definitely want to make sure you sign up. All right. Now what I also did was, here is that 3D folder. So see how pretty that is on there? Oh my gosh. So you can use it like this, so the tree pushes out, or you can flip it like this, and then the tree gets pushed in. So it really doesn't matter, because it's not like it's got writing on it, right, where you have to read it. All right. Either way, you just want to kind of be gentle when you do your seal, because you don't want to tear the paper, because sometimes once it goes through that embossing folder, it softens up that paper a little bit. It breaks the fibers in the cardstock, and sometimes it can tear. So I just do like a light touch, you know, with the seal whenever I do embossing. If you do the seal plus, it's even worse for ripping when you have embossed. So I usually just use the seal. All right, so this is just going to go on here. It's just a lot of white on white, a little bit of texture with those trees. But look how pretty this is, even if you did not do hardly anything else to it. All right, so let's get my little bear over here. So we have my cute little bear. I also want to do my greeting, and it's going to be, have a very Merry Christmas, and I just want to make sure it was clean. I'm looking for my red, here we go, my red pad, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to stamp it and see how accurate my sticker is. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. So then let's do my little circle. Now the thing about stamping on a circle, you have a little more wiggle room if things are a little off, because it's a circle, right? You can just turn your circle. All right, so there we have that. So that's all ready. So I'll set that aside so I don't lose it. All right, so let's bring our little bear over. And my present. So I'm going to let him sit and dry just a second. So I did stamp him with Memento on basic white, and I die cut him out with the die. All right, so I'm just going to go over here, and I'm just going to trim out some presents. Now, the Christmas Friends bundle does cut out presents, so I could have used the die to do that, but I kind of wanted to have some really fun designs, and I wanted to have a little piece on the inside, so I just ended up just using some of the Reindeer Designer Series paper and getting presents that way. Okay, so they're pretty easy to cut out. You have quite a few choices on here. And then these will be all ready to go as well. And I'm just leaving a little border around there. And this one. And then we'll color our little bear. So Jeff's watching a football game. Hopefully you can't hear it in the background. All right. So let's see here. Let's color our little bear. So I want dark granny. I want lemon lime twist. I want light real red. I want light azure. I also want dark real red. I also want light gray granite, which I think I have that out. Yes, I do. And I want my color lifter. And a flirty flamingo. I think that's all the colors that I want to use. All right. So let's add our cute little cheek, our little pink flirty flamingo cheek, as well as our ear hole. All right, now I'm going to take the light gray granite, and I want to give this bear, he's going to kind of look polar bear-ish, kind of a white bear. So I'm just taking my light gray granite, and I'm just kind of putting some shading lines around the edges and kind of where those hairlines are drawn. And then I also put it right here by that wreath because it would be darker there as the shadow went. Then I'm just going to take my color lifter, and I'm just going to come in just to the edge of that gray, and I'm just going to touch it a little bit. And what it's going to do is it's just going to soften it a little bit, but it's not going to take it all the way away. And it takes it a little bit to react, so I can always go back and do more. But I want to give it a chance to do what it does. But you can already see, you know, it's kind of softening that up a little bit, and it's just kind of giving it that look of like a shadow, you know, like the white fur would have a shadow. All right, so let's do some coloring. So let's take our dark Granny Apple. Now, Granny Apple is one of the colors that's in the DSP. So this is dark Granny. And I'm just going around the edges, and I'm coming in a little bit into the wreath so that our wreath will have, you know, some different colors going on. Okay, that was dark granny. And then I'm going to take my light lemon lime twist. I love these colors together because it adds such a bright color to that granny apple. And it just looks so cool together. It almost looks like it's lit up from underneath. So doesn't that look cool, those two colors together? All right, oop, hang on a minute. I forgot right here. There we go. So fun. All right, now let's take my light real red, and we're going to do a couple of these little balls on the wreath. And I also want to take my light azure as well and put some of those on there as well. Okay, so let's finish our bear. Let's do our bow. So I'm just going to use that dark real red. And then we'll just finish it with the light. So fun. There. Now, if you want that real red to be really dark, if you want it to be really, really dark, you can take, let's take our bronze. So if you use bronze or some of the tones that kind of are like a brown, pecan pie works. If you put that with red, it gives you like a third like red, you know, underneath. So I'm going to take my bronze and I'm just going to put a little bronze right in there. And it's just going to deepen that red so it's even darker. So let me hold that up. So see what I mean? Now it's really dark right there. So it just gives it like almost like a third red. All right, so let's get a little gel pen on our cheeks. Give them a couple little freckles. Put some little dots here and there on our bow. Now the gel pen, we don't sell gel pens, but I do have a link to the ones that I get off of Amazon on my blog. If you head on over to my blog over here, the very, very top, it has my favorite things, and you can find a link to those. If you are doing my December class in the mail kit, I still have spots available for that. You'll get a gel pen in with that kit, as well as if you do my spring social. So if you've done my other socials and in some other classes in the past, you may, you know, have one in your stash from one of those events. All right, so let's put our card together. So we have our cute little bear, and you can see that now he's kind of lightened up a little bit where that color lifter, you know, went in there and lightened him up. So it just looks like he's a white bear and he's got some shadows. So let's put him on with dimensionals. So again, I'm just using these ones that are left over from class, from that kit. Waste not, want not. Let's see. Okay, I also want to put some dimensionals on my greeting. I also need to remember to show you the cards from class. I need to pull them out or I'll forget. I'm going to put them right here so I don't forget. And I probably still will because that's just how crazy my brain works. All right. So we have our little bear. So let's put him on. And I didn't put any ribbon on this. Okay, so we've got our cute little bear. And it almost looks like he's in a snowy, you know, there's like snow going on. And we could put the little snow like I used before, but this time I'm going to use some bling. All right, so we've got have a very berry Christmas, and then we have our presents. Now this present I'm going to glue with green tip glue. I'm going to put one in the middle directly to the card, and then I'll pop up the other two. So this one's going to go right here, and then these ones I will pop up. Let's see, I'll just angle that. All right. So these ones will just go like over top, like that. So that looks so cute, right? And then the bling I'm going to use is the iridescent faceted gems. And that's these right here. And they are so pretty. They look like snowflakes. So I'm just going to put a couple of those on. Now I could have used the same snowflakes as I used before, but I'm just going to change this up a little bit. All right. So here is my twist. So super cute, right? So here's the catalog version. The fun little owl. I'll be thinking of you this season, and then have a very Merry Christmas. So I love that there's a pun going on. So super cute. So I don't know which one I like the best. I like both of them, and both of them will be used. All right, so let me show you the cards that everybody did for class. So you'll see that this one is very similar to the one I just did, except I colored the bear as a brown bear instead. So it gives him a different look. Let's see here. Then I have, my watch keeps hitting my mic. So then we have this one here. I love how this one turned out. And then I used the peppermints. So you want to make sure, like I think those peppermints are gone again. Whenever they come back, you need to grab them as soon as you can. But look how cute that one is. And I loved the paper. So I used the Sentimental Designer Series paper for a lot of the cards for the class. And then there's this one here. I'll be thinking of it this season. And I did this one so it kind of looked like an ornament. And then the inside. And then there's the cute little mouse who's singing. And again, this is some more of that sentimental paper. He's just singing along. And then the last one, because they do 5 projects, so the last one is this one right here. Have a very Merry Christmas. And I use some of that sentimental paper. I use some of the reindeer paper. And then this is actually a retired paper. And I just, you know, mix and match stuff that goes well together and looks super cute. But those were 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so those were the 5 projects for my December class in the mail. And I want to thank everybody that took that class. And I think most of them have reached out to me that they've gotten their kit by now. So that makes me feel so good. All right, so let me say, voila! See you later, alligator. So yeah. So yeah. Fun. Now look at, I'm so ahead on my Christmas cards, but then I get behind on my thank you cards, and I end up sending Christmas cards for orders as a thank you card, and then I get behind again. So that's how it goes. But I just love what I do, so it doesn't matter so much. But anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I probably won't be on my Teach Me Tuesdays tomorrow, but make sure you come back for my Teach Me Tuesdays. That will be at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.